coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Good morning, Hebrew Nation. I hope you're blessed in the name of Yahuwah, God of Genesis, creator and owner of everything. You know, I really came on here to make this recording, this video, a confession. You know, when I read about Ezekiel, and y'all said they're not going to listen to you, I always wondered how he dealt with that. When Elijah proved to these people, Yahuwah proved it through Elijah that he was the only true living God and that there is no other. And they sought to kill him. And you know, Elijah went into like a fit of, he just went down into a hole of depression and fear. I went and I talked to Father about it, and I said, you know, that's amazing to me because he did something with you so awesome, so powerful. I mean, he set the stage up for you to settle it, and there was no doubts in his mind who you were, Yahuwah. And then Father sent fire down from the sky. I mean, he even covered the course to show, is there anything that I cannot do? And so Elijah poured water, soaked the wood, all of it, and then y'all set a torch, and it was done. And yet Elijah, he went into a fit of depression. It's so amazing because I went and talked to Father about it, and now I understand it. Now I understand it. See, we're out there showing you evidence that I don't care how you say Yahusha, Yahushai, Jesus Christ, cancel those names out in Yahuwah's name, that they are not real. Let me ask you a question. This is very important. When I was in Christianity, we always knew JC's father, who sent him to die for our sins. We always were led to believe that it was God, and we didn't really know at that time that all the gods had names, because there's only one name. All the rest of them are dead. They're just built up by man. They're lies. Or they would create some, like Yahuwah did, for themselves, instead of trying to take it and defile it. You see what I'm saying? But we were always taught that it was the God of the Old Testament that sent JC. Now, just stay with me because this is important. We need, y'all say, come together with me and let's reason the matter out. So let's dissect this and let's put this baby to bed. We were taught that JC's father was the God of the Old Testament because they always led on that I did not come to change laws, but you did. Y'all said that a child and its parents, no matter how old, respects their parents. And yet JC tells you out now, and Yahuwah, all the rest of them, you know it, tells you straight out that I came to pit father against son and son against father, and daughter against its mother and mother against its daughter. Don't you see how he changed it? Tell you, First of all, those books are nowhere in the original Torah of the Hebrews. Explain that shit to me. It has to be someplace. On top of that, in the Old Testament, all the books of the secrets that y'all left for us, he's nowhere mentioned. And let me tell you something. If he is a child of the Most High and did that, he was going to be mentioned. I guarantee you that. The other thing is, if Yahuwah set laws to protect the animals when they were to be offered up to him, to protect them from inhumane treatment, the two important laws were that they were never to feel fear and they were never to feel pain. They could not have a scratch, a blemish, or a mark on it. Do you really think that he would let them do all that to his beloved son? Heathens that worship false gods. That's what heathen means. They are sun worshippers. Do you really think that he would do that? He wouldn't. Because I'm going to tell you word for word what he said. He said, yeah, Sherelle, I'm going to ask you a question. You answer it for me. You're going to answer it. Who's twisted? I want you to tell me who's twisted up. Me or you? You think that I would take a righteous man who guards my laws, who guards the covenants that I set in the Old Testament. He does every one of them to the best visibility, and he loves me. Do you really believe that I would send him to die for an unrighteous man, a wicked ass man? Let's just say it the way y'all would. You've never been in the Old Testament, so you have no idea how he talks. But he is blatant and meticulous and clear. You think that I would send a righteous man to die for a wicked man's sins? He cares nothing for me. He breaks my laws, so he cares nothing for my laws. And you think that I would allow an atonement or a ransom, a payment? You think I would honor that and receive it through this righteous man's blood? Oh, yeah, Sherelle. I ask you, Yahuwah, who's twisted? You or me? No, I mean to tell you that a man will die and be responsible for his own sin, and that a righteous man shall live. Yes, I tell you, he shall live, because he turned his wickedness back and came to righteousness, which is following y'all's laws. I tell you that not one of his sins will come up against him when I judge him in the end. And yes, I will judge every single one of you. But a wicked man's sins, number one, he will pay for them by himself. He will be responsible for his own wickedness and sin and actions. And I will judge him on them. I will remember them all, for the angels record them to me. And I will hold it against him. And I tell you that he will surely die in them. He is responsible for himself. That's your number one problem with this shit. Christianity. Y'all just told you, no, I won't accept it. And I would never send it to do it for a wicked man. And he so loved his son. No. So I think what we need to do is, since we have a clear and present problem, and a misunderstanding. What we need to do is find out once and for all who is JC, who is Yahusha, and who is Yahushai's daddy. Because my father has set laws against human sacrifice. That's why he's killing this false religion, because they sacrifice children to it. We're all awake to it today, and we're all adults. So let's just talk and get it out. We need to find out who's JC's daddy and what's his name, because every God has a name. Now, there's only one true living one. We understand that, and we know it to be the creator and the God of Genesis, Yahuwah. So what is his name? And if we can settle the matter on that, I guarantee you there will be a clear and present answer for it all. And it will be easier for the people in Christianity, which are my family, Hebrews, worshiping a false God in their Creator's face, despite the slavery and the mistreatment and the abuse that we have already went through for doing the same. See, I think that I understand how all of our prophets felt. And I think about Samuel and the stuff that Saul did. We get frustrated and we get worked up because we know the laws. Human sacrifice would never be okay with Yahuwah because he hates it to his heart. And he said, I never asked that of you. Never. It never entered my mind. It never entered my heart. And it never came out of my mouth. He absolutely detests it. He said, I gave you the children. It was a gift. It was a gift. And you go and you do the stuff that you do to these children today so that you can live a rich life. I tell you, you will pay for it indeed. So how are you going to tell me that my father saved his son? Because he didn't. I already brought what Yahuwah said. So who is JC and the rest of them is daddy? And I feel if we can get that name, that we can clear all this up. My father said, warn them. And I'm going to warn you right now. The Second Testament is son worship. It's in Ezekiel. You just don't want to know it. You don't want to read it. You don't want to see it. And you are in it. And my father said that you're going to die in it. Because that's not his son. When he says the Son of Man, he called the prophets that. He called King David that. And that is our shepherd. And that will be Yashrael's king. There will be no other. And I'll give you fair warning from Father. You will not bring that in here. You will not bring it here. You have a choice between the two. Because a man can't have two masters. Understand that. So you get the world's covenant or you get the old one from the Creator. Because he's coming for this other one. We're watching Christian pastors drop like flies. You know why? Because they're telling you who you are, but they're not bringing you out. I'm bringing you out. And Yah is doing it right in front of you. And he said, last days they're going to be warring against me, and they won't even know it. You don't even know it. And you're warring against the Creator and God of Genesis, which is Yahuwah, who's doing all this. You need to find out exactly what JC's name, his daddy. Ask your pastor, what is his daddy's name? I mean, I know he's calling himself God, but I want to know who sent JC, Yahusha, and Yahawashai. What's his name? Because if he's truly a God, which he's not because there's only one, he has a name. Man has given all his God's name. Believe that shit. You need to find out what his daddy's name is and who sent him. Because it was not Yahuwah, the God of Genesis and the Creator. And if he was, here's another thing. How come JC and the other two, because they turned him black on you, because they were losing the Hebrews. How come he did everything in secret? Don't tell them I did that for you. Shh. Don't tell them I healed you. Keep it to yourself. When my Father does everything in the open, in your face, to be precise. If he is my Father's son, how come my Father never speaks a word in your New Testament? And he's the only one that speaks in the Old Testament, in all the books of secrets that Yah released to us. You need to ask yourself these questions. Because they came up with this religion in Rome to pull the most powerful fucking nation out of covenant. Why? With our God. Why? Because we could not be defeated. And let me give you a taste of the power. The 7 brothers with 7 cities took them down in one night. Not food, not drink, not sleep. That's how powerful the princes are. It was designed to keep you out of covenant with your own God. You were forced to it when our ancestors came over here and when they took over Dad. But we came out of the laws. It was our fault. We did it to Yahuwah. And he gave us over to him. And then on Facebook, you try to sell me on the same bullshit that I spent 40 years of my life in. Know that place over there like the back of my hand. I know exactly what the Second Testament says. And it's all lies. Because it doesn't line up with my father's and what he said in the Old. Why would I want to return to that? So listen, you're not going to sell me on it. You're not going to save me because I'm already saved. And guess what? I wasn't adopted. I'm royalty. And I'm made in his image. Number 1. And number 2, Yahuwah is telling you, I'm pleading with you now. I have brought you the evidence, and you need to weigh it carefully, wisely. Because it's the truth. I don't care how many years you've been there. I was over there. And I know it to be a lie. You think the God of the Old Testament is dead or asleep? I tell you, he is not. And he is wrecking this place. And if you go into the Old Testament, he said that a shepherd that leaves his flock should have his eyes plucked out. Where's your shepherd at? Because China's here. And your book in Revelation said the red dragon, and that's who is here. My father said he's going to send nations on Babylon, Rome. They're already here. And then he's going to gather the rest of them. He's going to bring them in. He said he's going to obliterate and burn to a crisp North America. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's written. And he said, even the animals won't inhabit it, for they will know that I, Yahuwah, have cursed it. And he said, I'm not giving her one day past what I've already given her. You need to wake up. And let me tell you something else, Prince. You can be Hebrew all you want. You can be Hebrew. You can call yourself a Hebrew. But if you don't follow these freaking laws over here, and you don't line up what belongs to Yahuwah, it doesn't matter what tribe you're from. Yahuwah himself will spit you and your false gods out his mouth and crush you when he brings you to court to be judged by him and all the rest of the judges in his courtroom. And I've spoken every word that he spoke, word for word. And my Father will defend me on that, for he sits behind me and judges every word I speak to you. And I do not repeat it unless it comes from his lips. We're trying to save your life, your children's life, your family's life. Why do you think they told you over there in your books that when this comes on you, they're calling it the devil, it's actually the creator. When these nations come on you, don't fight. You better not. You better not. Because they know that it's the end of the Gentile, and it's the end of Rome, and it's the end of Babylon, and it is the end of the last nation outside of Yasharel that will rule this earth. And I'm amazed that some of your heads have blown up so big and you don't even know that your ass is in the pot of fire. 666. Those numbers spell out Nero and Caesar. Now, where do they come from? Rome, because Rome is the daughter of Rome. America is the daughter of Rome. It spells out their name. Why will you get that brand? Because you believe in that? And it shows. That's your God. That's why Yah said, you'll shall enough know the difference between mine and theirs, the world. The decision is yours. Because free will is very important to Father. Because if it's forced, it's not true love. So believe me, Yah judges from the heart. We know that from Ezekiel. He judges that heart. That's how he chose our King David. So whatever you love and whatever you believe, that's how you'll be judged. That's how you'll be sealed. And that's how you'll be branded as property of Rome. You get it? And we will get the seal of Yahuwah. Because what we believe, his laws, in our hands, do them. Did you get it? He is separating the wheat from the chaff. And there's no way that you and your mighty self, Prince, can sit back and justify yours now against Yahuwah and what he said. And I often wonder why you don't carry on these conversations with me and or talk back and forth and put your chest out and throw your head back like you already got a crown on your head in front of the others on Facebook. And some of you, when I leave something on your thing and you say, come on there and help us, you want me to join your group, but you get out of here. That's a mess. But I go in there and I leave a message that yours does not exist. And it's really over here in the Old Testament. And when you see that one of yours hits a like on what I told him and go and research it, you try to unfriend me. But I mean to tell you that Yah is going to get every single one of them out of your flocks that belong to him. Yo. He told me to tell you that. And yours is really, really passive. Our Father, our God is a freaking warrior. I know that fuck throws some of you into shock. So I said freaking. Hope you like that, because I'm probably not going to do it again. Ours is a warrior. You're going to see that. And we are not passive. At all. We are like lions to the battlefield. And we do not mind bringing his laws. And everyone you're leading over there, you are going to be responsible for their blood. Because you told them who they were. And you did not bring them to the Father and out from Rome. You get ready for that. You get ready for that. Every single one of you. And I know I'm hitting souls, or you princes wouldn't be coming in there and taking my posts and all the hard work that I do and the time that I spend with Yahuwah, removing me and putting it up as though you taught it, as though you searched it out and studied for it. You diligently searched him. You are a fake and a fraud, which is exactly what Christianity is. As above, so below, but we see you, Rome, and we will not be deceived. It's flattering, because you know that Father is using me, and I am a woman, and I tell you things that you did not know. I handle things up front, out in the open, like Father does. And when you say something to me, and I bring you the law, and I ask you, very politely, humbly, to explain to me how it doesn't line up with Father's laws if he was sent from the Father, you don't ever come back to the comment. And I know you got it, because sometimes I send it twice. You got it. Why is that, Prince? Yahuwah said, is it my will that you should die? No. It's your will. And I'll let you do it. It's your will. Book of Jeremiah, book of Isaiah, book of Ezekiel. Pick one. Your shepherd is going to fly the fuck out on jets or go underground and leave you up here to face the nations coming against her. That's the shepherd, Rome's shepherd, the one that you gave yourself to and said no to Yahuwah, even though he pleaded and pleaded and pleaded with you to come home. Why do you think you see him in the movies? Why do you think y'all said, I know right where you are in the Old Testament? Oh, I know where you're gonna run, you're gonna scatter. Oh yes, when I bring my judgment. But I know right where you are, and I'm not gonna meet you as a man. And it's ridiculous that they built this stuff underneath the ground. Boy, it's a luxury thing with your money. American citizens' money. They got it hooked up down there. But here's what I don't understand. You don't think, first of all, he already told you he knows where you're at. And you don't think that Yahuwah could set off a number of things, an earthquake, a volcano, any of it, and trap your ass down there until you suffocate, starve to death. I believe he'd make you suffer for those who got it underground. He knows right where they're at. This is your shepherd. And that's why Yahuwah said, a shepherd that leaves his flock should have his eyes plucked out. Every word I speak is from him. Word for word. I'm sort of like a sponge. And I don't need to look it up and tell you what it says. I know it by heart because it's written across my heart. I know how they felt. And now I know why Yahuwah said that I'm going to send you. Because I'm gonna send an angel to go before you, might clear the way for you to come. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Yasharel. If I come with you, I'll kill you on the way. I'm so fed up with you. I really am. I'm telling you, I would put hands on you. Go look it up. Now I understand why. And I can't wait till this is over and we can just go home and say, we left you to your fate. It's over. You cannot come with anything that stands up and lines up with what Yahuwah said, with any of your sacrifices for your sins. Because they're human, and Yahuwah will never accept it. So you got some explaining to do. And you don't have to do it to nobody but yourself. And when you get in those cages and China rolls up in here and all the rest of these freaking nations, because let me tell you something, they're waking up to what America has that belongs to Yahuwah. He already said he was going to use each and every one of them. He told the Prince of Persia, which is the prince of the king of Iran today, hit him with everything you've got. Let her sit in darkness. That doesn't mean they're coming into the land. Figure that shit out for yourself. But that does not mean they're coming into this land, although they're already here. Look around. Yahuwah is going to have his heart's desire with this wicked ass land, nation, and everything else about it. And the world's too. He wants Earth back. And our punishment is up. That's why we go as hard as we do for him. For him. So I'm going to leave this right here. And I've said my piece. Don't come to me with this stuff. You have a free will. You can have it. Stay there. And don't provoke me to come in there and bring the law, and then you either run or you come and steal my lesson. No, because Yah's not going to let you get away with that. Why? Because he's the giver of it, and he gave it to me. He anointed me to teach that, not you. And you're going to have a real problem if you don't have the wisdom and the knowledge of the Father that gave the message to explain it when someone comes to you and asks you to go deeper with it and bring witnesses to it. Y'all said you are going to look like the thief you are. But the blessings will still go to me, a woman. Understand that. Because I'm his daughter. I am his ambassador, and I am his prophetess, and I am his judge. Here. And I know that he's preparing me for the job that I have over there, because I have dedicated my life to him since birth. I've always been chosen. So you're going to have a real problem with that when they need to go deeper, and you cannot take them the rest of the way because you do not have his wisdom and his knowledge on it. Therefore, you do not have a sound-minded teacher, because sound-mind in Hebrew means you see things and understand things like Yahuwah sees it. Thievery does not pay off, not in my Father's laws. And he guards everything that I touch or that he assigns me to. You got away with nothing. You're going to have a problem when they come asking. He said, with the wicked, he is cunning. Father, I thank you so much that you left and protected the words to us that you spoke. Yes, it's been tampered with, but you don't let us be misled, because you said last days, I'm going to teach you myself. That's what you told Jeremiah. And we rejoice over it, because we're not misled by a man anymore. Wake your princes up, Yah. It doesn't matter whether I'm their prophet, I'm yours. And I ask that you give them an ear to hear, or leave them to their fate, Yahuwah, because these are your words. And I thank you for it all, Yah. In your name, Yahuwah. To the house of Yasharel. Be blessed. And find your way home. Until the next video. Shalom.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world.